Here's what I want to talk about today. I have a $16 from Amazon CW key controller. I recently bought a new radio that does not have a controller built in, and for the first time found myself needing one. And so, of course, I went the cheapest route, went to Amazon and found this for the cheapest price I could. Now, I paid about $16, but I see it listed for up to $40. It's the same device, it's just that you can pay more or you can pay less. Now, that said, you get what you pay for, because when this arrived, it was in pretty bad shape. The knob would not turn. It was scratchy and grindy if I forced it, and that is because it shipped in an electronics isolation bag, and the keyer must have hit the side of the box when being thrown around, and it shoved the knob up over the retaining nut. So naturally, when I went to turn the dial, nothing happened. So I popped off the knob and I took it apart. You do have to take it apart to put batteries in it. So what I'm going to do is just take it apart, show you what that looks like inside, and then talk about how I made it work right. And I'm going to talk about whether or not this thing's worthwhile. Once you get the 4 screws out of the face, you can take the actual controller out to install your 2 AAA batteries. Now, when I opened it up, the knob had come loose from its mount, and so I needed to take the knob off and tighten up the nut that holds the knob in place. So if that happens, before you do anything else, if the knob feels less than smooth, take it apart first so you don't break anything. Check what I'm talking about, put it back together, make sure everything works right. But again, I had to just reconnect that. It was fine. So I'm going to put it back together, but before I do that, I just want to show you that over here there is the piezo buzzer, and there's actually on the board itself it says buzzer, and next to that is an LR jumper. Now, I don't know if this jumper has to do with the buzzer or if it's got to do with left-right for the paddle. I don't really need it. It may shut the buzzer off, I don't know. It may have to do with the paddle. I'm not going to mess with it because the paddle works fine the way it is. So I'm going to put that back together. Okay, so I think, yeah, this is an aluminum enclosure, and I really like that about it. I thought it was plastic at first, and that was fine, but it is actually aluminum. The setup is pretty simple here. We've got our transceiver and our key. We have a nice smooth speed adjustment knob and an F1 and F2. Now what these are, you can program a canned message into each one. So that's nice. And what I like about it is that it's so easy to use. And I'll show you that once I get the key plugged into it. But it's really easy to use. For $16, I love it. And I think if I paid $25, that would have been great too. Because I paid $40 for the Pico keyer, and I never got that stupid thing working. I hate that thing. I eventually threw it out, but because I spent money on it, I kept it around and occasionally broke it out to try to use it. It was useless. This is much simpler in design, and I was able to figure out without instructions. It didn't come with an instruction manual or anything like that. You just have to figure it out. Now, obviously, you would go into your transceiver, but we don't need to, because once you plug in the key, it is battery operated, so this is a practice here as well. So you have a practice oscillator built in. We have an F1 and an F2 button. And these are just programmable buttons for example, you can put your CQ into F1 and your call sign into F2. And they're really user-friendly as well. So all you really do is hold it down. Now it's ready to receive. All right, well that's nonsense because I have the speed turned up much faster than I can make use of it. All right, so now it's programmed. So there's the nonsense that I put in. I can put a different message in F2 by holding that down. Now it's ready. This didn't come with instructions, but I was able to figure it out right out of the box. It's entirely variable, so you can work on your speed in increments instead of just menu-driven absolute settings. Very rarely do I spend money on anything on Amazon amateur radio related that I'm happy with what I get. This was one of those happy exceptions. If you're familiar with this, really nice $70 or $80 key. $16? Absolutely. I can definitely get behind that. Again, you can pay up to $40. You have to look for which vendor. And this was like 2-day shipping. So that's, if I can get something in 2 days and it's something like under $20, why not do that? I could always return it and not miss the $20 in the meantime. And when it came broken, essentially, I wasn't surprised. A little disappointed, but it was a really easy fix and there's no need to send it back. So they just need to package it better to protect the knob from getting jammed in onto the device. So I highly, highly recommend this little device, especially while you can get it cheap on Amazon. So I hope that helps, and until next time.